talk about that?
Well, that hasn't sunk in yet because we're just so in the moment of what matters most, and we're trying not to think about results, and we've been talking very little about those things this year. Some years we've talked more about those things, but this year I think our guys are really comfortable with just staying in the moment. And just like, you know, a month ago when we had to go win on the road at La Crosse and then go on the road at Eau Claire, or we had to win a big game at home, and we're just trying to keep our routine. And our seniors, our veteran players here have done an outstanding job of that. Don't want to get too melancholy about all that, you know, Elite Eight stuff. There will be time for that, you guys, at the end of the year. And right now, again, we want to get back to work, and we're going to have a team meal together. We're going to go through the scouting report, and we got to get our rest, and we got to wind down quickly because they're probably in bed sleeping already.
Steve, do you want to talk about the dunk in the first half? Kind of seemed to get the crowd going and everybody else around you.
Yeah, well, Sean threw a perfect pass for it, and I mean, it's just perfect timing on that. And I think it really ignited us. And I mean, really, the main thing after that was just we got some momentum and we built on it too, and especially defensively. So it led to some stops. So that was obviously the biggest part of it.
Guys, can you talk about, I get a feeling the words revenge or redemption or any of those words weren't mentioned very much during the week of practice. Is that true? I'm sure you guys are just thinking, we got one more game to play to get to the Elite Eights, and you know, we wanted to play our ball. And
We never talked about last year. We kind of just took it just like we took any other game, one game at a time, and focused on ourselves. And then we never talked about last year. I mean, we just stayed in the moment, like Coach said earlier.
Yeah, it's just a new year. It's a new team. Both teams are different. We all have different roles, and it's just a different team overall. So I really didn't even think about it.
Yeah, their motivation, I can promise you guys, was advancing and playing another 40 minutes. And it doesn't matter who the opponent is. These guys have been on a mission. They've been on a journey together since October 15th, and that's what matters most to these guys.
I guess, guys, you want to talk about obviously the focus is on just advancing, but now that you have beaten Emory, seeing guys like Ty Tillman up in the stands and Trevor Haas, that he'll make a difference now after the game's over with. You know, does it help a little bit with last year at all?
I think I'm going to let Austin answer this because he's obviously so close to those guys. Not that Steve and Sean aren't, but you've spent a lot of time with Tyler and Trevor. But I'll preface it by saying this: I think like end of the year banquet. I think we'll reflect more on stuff like that, and I'm sure these guys will probably have some time with them after the season and reflect on that. But those three guys really, helped us be a better basketball team this year, and we've learned a lot from Tyler and Trevor and Clayton, and they've meant so much to us. So.
You took care of it, I think.
It's just so great to see them back too. I mean, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Too. I mean, that's just what this program's about. I mean, Tyler and Trevor genuinely care about us this year, which is huge. So
that's well said.
Stephen and Austin, can you talk a little bit? Obviously, your offensive numbers were great, but I thought you guys kind of cut the head off of their team by doing a pretty amazing job of not letting three get into the lane. I know you guys had a lot of help, but can you just talk a little bit? Was that kind of a strategy at all coming into the game? If you kind of took his penetration away, maybe things would be better?
Yeah, me and Steve we both really take pride in our defense, I think, and that really helps us out. We kind of lean on each other. We're always talking and making sure that we keep our guys in front, because that'll help our other teammates out tremendously. And then when we're not on the ball, we have to stay in the gaps, and that just helps everyone else on the team out.
Yeah, part of our game plan was, the number 3 is obviously a pretty good guard, and he's one of the best we've seen pushing it in transition. So I think having that part of the game plan is obviously huge, and I think we did a pretty good job of it.
And we've been prepared for a great point guard like Florent. We've run into 3 or 4 of them this year, And again, all those experiences, all those lessons that we've learned along the way are really paying dividends now. This is kind of like a final exam, and we're drawing on all those experiences, and we refer to them. They're reference points.
Sean, you want to talk about Gardner Foster, Conference Player of the Year? You did at the beginning of these guys last year. Just the job that you did, and getting, the 3 minutes that you did out there.
Yeah, obviously Foster is a great player. We have a tremendous amount of respect for him. But we had such a good look from our scout team, whether it was young guys or Coach Gollin stepping in and really giving us a good look, and that just really prepared us, all of us, because with a guy like that, you don't stop him with one guy, it's a whole team, and hearing guys saying, I got your gap, and so I can get up into him, that's huge. So obviously a great player, and me and Lutz took a lot of pride in trying to shut him down, take him out of the game as much as we could.
About you want to comment on that? Just he was the guy you kind of wanted to hold those average, also carry the guy off the bench when you pretty much held every check too.
Well, honestly, you guys, when we looked at, you look at Florin, their dynamic point guard, and then you look at Foster, and every great team, it starts with a outstanding point guard that can control tempo. He plays so fast, he's so aggressive, and he's under control a lot of times. He makes the right pass, and he's a good decision maker. And Foster is such a good finisher, such a great shooter and finisher. So, but then they've got all kinds of players around them. They've got athletes and shooters, but we didn't see their best, you guys. We know that Emory is an outstanding basketball team, and that team has had a ton of success. I mean, to think what they did in the UAA this year to win that league, and they had a great non-conference schedule. But I know we've studied them enough. We know that we had something to do with that, for sure. Our guys deserve a ton of credit. But we're thankful that some of those shots rimmed out, and we're thankful that they weren't quite as explosive in the rhythm that we've seen them sometimes, and because they're really a handful to defend.
Austin, so you don't talk about just knocking out some big shots there in the second half to kind of extend the lead after you guys won at halftime at 10. Just guys making an extra pass too under the basket, whatever.
Yeah, I think we were really unselfish, like you said, making the extra pass. And I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to just making big shots. And I mean, we work on that all week. Coach puts us in pressure situations, so we're used to hitting those pressure shots. So, I mean, we obviously did that tonight.
Yeah, like you said, coaches puts us in those situations every day. I mean, even for our pregame, our shoot around during the day, we get put in those pressure situations and just have to be confident and shoot with confidence.
We got rid of some of those jitters, didn't we, this afternoon?
Anything else? All right, Coach. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.